How apt. How very apt. Money, 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 money. How apt. I mean, you're making it. Look at that. You got a dime in the stock market. You're doing okay. Now we're up 9 points on the Dow Industrials, and I see a lot more green than red amongst the 30 stocks. I have to tell you that the Nasdaq has also hit an all-time high as of today. Scott Martin's with us, Kingsview Asset Management CIO and Fox News contributor. Does this market, it feels like it just wants to go up. Do you think it will go up a lot more?
I do, Stuart, and I think one of the reasons the market is doing so well, I mean, you mentioned your intro there, just out of the election period, is because the market had so many haters. I mean, there were so many people that you said talked about this Trump bust and how it was going to be a total failure, and those are conditions that the market typically loves. Now, admittedly, I guess frighteningly, you know, I do have some liberal clients, believe it or not. And I got to tell you, Stuart, a lot of them took their money out of the markets or at least raised a lot of cash in their portfolios. So in their 401ks, sadly, they've missed this whole rally. So now they're even further behind than they were in their savings for retirement than they were before.
What happens if we do not get a tax cut? What happens if the profit reports are not what we want to see? They're not robust. Then do we start coming down on this market? It starts to move lower?
Most likely, yes, especially on the profit side, because that's what the market cares about. With respect to the tax side, I don't know. I almost feel like, Stuart, this is more of an opportunity missed if we don't get tax reform and regulatory reform, maybe some infrastructure spending, than it is a total disaster to the market. Because the reality is, as you laid out, the economic conditions, whether it is in the earnings picture, how about business confidence at multi-year highs? How about comments from business leaders that we respect throughout this country talking about how much they love this administration? That stuff is concrete. That stuff is firm. That can carry stock prices higher. It's missing the tax cut as far as the big upside that the market could have if we don't get the tax cut that I'm concerned about.
Bear with me, Scott. Just hold on for a second. I want everybody to check this out. It's a survey. It's from the Federal Reserve, and it says 46% of Americans do not have enough money to meet a $400 emergency expense. But you've looked at this, Lizzie. You've got a nugget, a little wrinkle in this.
Yeah, and it's in the footnotes, because I love the footnotes. It says that the Fed itself says we oversample households that make less than $40,000. So almost a third of those polled make less than $40,000. That will skew it down.
I just didn't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that nearly half this country can't get together $400. Maybe I'm living in a bubble. Scott Martin, am I living in a bubble when I say, look, I'm sorry, I don't believe that half of America cannot get together $400?
Well, if it's a bubble or not, I want to join you in that bubble because I hope it's not reality. But I'll tell you what's funny, though. I'll tell you this, in being an advisor, Stuart, there are a lot of clients out there, a lot of people that do not save enough. Life expectancy is going higher. Healthcare costs, as you know, are on the rise. And what's interesting about that, they talk about this in the survey as well, it's the fact that people don't budget. People don't like to budget for some reason. It's hard for people to go out there and say, hey, I need to cut down, say, $50 in spending from going out and dining out, or $20 a month from the grocery store. And so while the numbers may be a little bit skewed, as you guys pointed out, because, Lizzie, you're very good at footnotes, I will tell you that, the reality is this: Americans do need to save more because of a lot of the economic factors that are going on in their lives that maybe weren't there 10, 20 years ago.
Got it. Scott Martin, thank you very much indeed, sir. Appreciate it, as always.